Good morning, everyone. This week I'm going to have to start my little talk to you with a few practical announcements. The first one is to do with the way that we are going to have to book in for Mass. Last week I said to you that we were going to start the celebration of Mass here in the parish very shortly. In fact, the first Mass will be celebrated here in St Austin's Church on Saturday evening next. There will be Masses on Sunday morning on the hour at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock here in St Austin's. In the evening there will be Mass as usual at 6 o'clock. During the week I'm going to say Mass on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 12 noon. On Saturday lunchtime, there'll be Mass in English Martyrs Church at 12 noon. And then the cycle begins again. But it is important that if you want to come to Mass, you book a place. And you can do that by going to the parish website. And on the parish website, you'll see a little tag which is to do with booking a place for Mass. If you click on that, it will take you to the booking system. Choose your date, choose the Mass you want to go to, and then press the button to register. It will ask you for your name and your contact details. And the reason for that is the government rules and regulations to do with tracing people who have been to public places. So I hope as many of you as possible will take the opportunity to start coming back to Mass. That's my first announcement. The second announcement is that, if you haven't already heard, because I did put it on the parish website yesterday, we have a new curate coming to the parish. And our new curate is Father Darren Jones, who's going to be ordained in a fortnight's time. Some of you will remember him because he's been here on pastoral placement from Oscott College before for a few weeks, so perhaps when you see him you'll remember him. But he's replacing Father Willis, who, as you know, is taking up his new appointment as the chaplain of the Carmelite convent at Wood Hall. I just want to very briefly say thank you to Father Willis for all his help and support over the time he's been with us, and I know that many of you have found very great comfort in his ministrations. And when all these different troubles that we're going through at the moment are over, we'll have to find a proper time and way of expressing our thanks to Father Willis for his work here. But I also want to commend Father Darren Jones to your prayers as he's preparing for his ordination and he comes here for his first appointment in a parish. I know you'll show him your support. The Gospel of today's Mass is a very famous parable of our Lord. It's the story of the sower who goes out to sow, and when he sows the seed, broadcasting the seed lands in different places. Some lands on the edge of the path, so it doesn't have any chance at all and the birds come and eat it. Some lands on rocky ground, so there's not much soil and it springs up straight away because there's no depth of earth, but very quickly the sun scorches it and it withers away. Some falls amongst weeds, and as it grows the weeds and the thorns choke the new grain and it doesn't come to anything. Some seed falls on rich earth and it produces a wonderful harvest. It's a very famous parable, the parable of the sower. And I think it speaks to us in a way because it expresses a reality that we encounter, don't we? The mystery, if you like, of why some people have the faith, the gift of faith from God, and other people don't. You know, we're told in the Penny Catechism, aren't we, that faith is a supernatural gift of God that enables us to believe without understanding whatever is revealed by God. But if faith is a supernatural gift of God. It's puzzling to us. Why does God not give it to everyone? And the world would be full of faith. But for whatever reasons of his own, he doesn't choose to do that. Some people have the gift of faith and some people don't. It's an imponderable, if you like. It will always be a mystery to us in this world why that's the case. But I think where we do start to ponder when we listen to our Lord's parable is when it speaks about the response of people who have the gift of faith. The response which is very different from person to person. We see it even in our own families, Catholic families, how some people have a very strong faith and some don't. A brother has strong faith and his sister doesn't. Of two children of a family, one carries on going to Mass and the other doesn't. Of very, very good practicing Catholic parents, children fall away. All those things which causes all kinds of anxieties, and we do naturally ponder that business of why there is such a different response from one person to another to the gift of faith. Well, what can I say? The only thing that we need to worry about, actually, is whether we have a deep enough faith to survive the time of trial. If we don't, then the thorns and the tares of this world will choke out our faith. Our faith needs to be deep enough to withstand the time of trial. And actually, isn't it when the time of trial comes that we discover the depth of our faith? It's when the time of trial comes that it shows itself. In a way, I think we've been through a bit of a time of trial in our faith these last few weeks and months, because we've been cut off from the sacramental grace of God that feeds and nourishes our faith, haven't we? We haven't been able to go to communion. We haven't been able to go to confession. We haven't been able to go to Mass. And being cut off from the nourishment that the sacramental life gives us is a real time of trial for the life of our faith. We will see over these next few weeks and months how much that has taken its toll on the faith and the practice of each one of us. We'll see over the next few weeks and months how quickly people start to come back to Mass and the sacraments, how keen people are to return once more to that life-giving, nourishing source of grace. I suppose I, like lots of parish priests, have been anxious, really, that our flock don't scatter during this time when it's so difficult to keep us together. And I'm praying for all of you that, in fact, you will find eventually, as the weeks progress, the courage to come back to the sacraments and to the Holy Mass. As I say, the Masses begin again next Saturday, and some of you may not feel quite ready for it yet, but please God, as time goes on, you'll be back with us, and we will once more be a vigorous, vibrant, worshipping community here in the parish of St Austin's and the English Martyrs in Wakefield. And I really look forward to that day very, very keenly, as I'm sure you do. I'm going to finish by sending you my blessing and assuring you of my prayers. May God bless you all, and thank you very much for listening.